say that what we are emphasizing is that the doctors should be responsible to provide a 100% safe method to cure the diseases, as we mentioned before. And also, we stated the evidence for the therapies for the cancer nowadays, and the doctors should be responsible for their health and life. But we are not standing aside and letting people die, but we are being responsible to them. Also, they misunderstand our third contention. We didn't mention cost, they cheated. We mentioned that biotech will cause biotech bubble, and it doesn't help to change the real problem. It doesn't help to change the situation of the people in the poverty-stricken area, which they didn't even attack in their rebuttal speech. However, we have thought about this realistically. After expanding gene editing technology to the public health services, people will suffer from dangerous therapy, severe discrimination, war, baby born with an appearance they don't even like, worse economy, and no hope to change their living condition. So please vote for con. Thanks.
So our opponent has repeatedly talked about risks. However, don't you agree that risk is part of everything? Surgeries have risks. Why aren't you banning surgeries?
The surgery risk is not about the technology. It's not about the medical methods. Surgery have experiments to prove that it's 100% safe. The risk is just about the operation of the doctors.
And
we're saying that gene editing technology have the risk. It's not 100. This technology is not 100% safe.
So you talk about doctors' oaths. Don't you think that in your case we shouldn't perform surgeries also at all just because they're not 100% safe?
We're saying that the outcomes of you shouldn't use this analogy between surgeries and gene editing technology, because a loss in surgery could only cause these people unfortunately die. However, if you use gene editing technology, you will cause offsprings and a large generation.
So people unfortunately dying doesn't matter to you, and which one weighs more? Potentially saving more lives of people, or the risk that we are undertaking right now? Everything has risks. Every major achievement in the human society has risks.
Firstly,
but the risk is higher than you think.
And also, is that the reason why you are doing experiments on the dying people, saying that there's no difference between people who are going to die and people using the technology and die after that? You've definitely mentioned that in your rebuttal speech. Do you mean that's the reason why you do this and trample on their humanity?
Okay, to answer that question first, these technologies are not just blindly implemented on people. They go through layers and layers of testing and experiment. First on computer programming, then on animals, and then it's the last resort to test it on these people. And it's not testing in this case because it would be the patient's last resort too. It would be their voluntary.
And also, it's our turn to ask questions. Yes. Which one weighs more, lives of people or the money of the government?
We're not saying that the money of the government, and also you didn't attack our contention. It didn't even attack our third contention because we're saying that it will cause problem in the biotech bubble problem, and also it won't change the current situation of the people living in poverty-stricken area. We're not only saying that it will affect the government's budget, but also affect the people's account and the country's economy.
Yes, exactly.
Now the people who have cancer, who are using
please let me answer the question.
I'm not asking a question. I'm answering. Please let me finish my answer.
Then do you have a question to ask?
Well, I have to finish my answer. I'm sorry. And also because of now people are having cancer, people are having HIV, people are using the medical methods nowadays, but there are severe bubbles and severe consequences to the economy system in our country now.
So are you saying that we shouldn't save the so-called rich people just because others cannot afford it?
But no, you are discriminating the people. You are saying that the rich people have access to it and the poor people don't have. You are discriminating.
Partner ready? Judges ready? Time start. Yes. Time starts now. As the fourth speaker of the pro side, I will prove to the judges why we have won the debate, both in the cons world and in the pros world. The cons side has failed to recognize that gene editing technologies provide unique benefits to society that other technologies such as medicines and vaccines cannot achieve. As we have repeatedly mentioned, there are already success cases in the world right now where 30 patients are cured by using gene editing technology. With the cures in our hands, why are we not expanding the technology to a wider public? By locking up the technology for one more day we wait, more people will die and suffering from the diseases. And the concept has also mentioned that poor people cannot afford the technology. Well, exactly, by expanding the public service to gene editing technology, so more people can afford it because government are funding for this technology. And also, the concept has mentioned that gene editing technology will lead to the discrimination of those who are disabled. Well, won't gene editing technology help these people to become able and thus eliminate discrimination instead of exaggerating the discrimination? Imagine the life of a patient with muscle dystrophy. She or he can only live up to 40 years. Won't gene editing technology potentially expand her life expectancy? The concept has also mentioned that money is a concern in the debate. However, we have repeatedly argued that when new technology replaces old technology, we can reallocate our resources to the new technology. And they also accuse us of imagination. So is the living cases of 30 people being cured an imagination? Are the achievements of scientists a mere imagination? They also accuse that we don't respect human rights. Then do they? They are depriving those who are infected with the possibility. They are depriving those who are infected with the diseases the possibility to able life. They are also depriving people of their freedom to choose what they want to do to their body by simply claiming that we are doing a good for them. Therefore, the pro side wins this debate because we have proven that gene editing technology can add more social benefit to the society and has its unique benefits that we can never neglect. Thank you.
We want to finish the pro time. Judges ready? Opponents, partner ready? My time starts from now. Judges, according to our opponents, the reason why gene editing technologies should be expanded are the high possibility to cure diseases and according to their constructive speech. However, their points are very weak, and ours stands for the following reasons. Firstly, in their contention, when they talk about a bunch of theories whether gene editing technology can cure cancer and other diseases. However, they didn't even answer to our rebuttal about the complexity of diseases and the drawbacks of gene editing technology. So I guess they're convinced by our speech. So, which means using gene editing technology is very risky. However, our opponents are always saying that people are dying, however, they don't have a definition for dying people. Then how should we make the choice between dying people and non-dying people who also have cancer? Should you give this treatment to people who still have 10 years to live? If they only give this chance to people who are dying in several weeks, several months, is that related to public health services? And also, they're saying that they can cure the problems of biotech attacks by regulations. However, if the regulation hasn't, if this technology hasn't been expanded, the regulations are not well established in their constructive speech. They just said that regulation will help. They didn't say what kind of regulation and how the regulation will help. So think about this. If you're living in a world where the world is full of regulations and all the security counts on people's self-responsibility to do nothing, and facing a high risk of gene editing technology, do you think that this world is good for people's living? So please vote for Khan.